Well, Zach, we were talking to Brett obviously about it after the game. How good was it to see him get off to a good start? He said he kind of challenged himself last week to get off to a better start than he had the previous 2 games.
He played really well. He was dialed through the week, and you could tell he had a ton of confidence going into that game. And hitting that big throw right off the bat obviously gives him some good confidence. AJ did a good job of getting open, and then really took it from there. I mean, boy, after the game, you're looking back, and Brett played probably one of his best games that he's played here, as far as just a complete package and really not making any mistakes, and felt good about what he did.
We've asked this so many times before, so maybe you can try to entertain me here, but the wide receiver group, the way that they've stepped up week after week, I mean, even that last game, Khalil, Octavius, John Hightower, none of them had catches, but you still managed to go over 300. How impressive have you just been with that whole unit, what they've been able to do?
Those guys just keep sticking with it, keep stepping up, and there's a lot of competition in that room, and a lot of a lot of those guys are, like I've said before, are hungry. They're all hungry, and then you get through a game and it's like, all right, John didn't even have a touch really, and had multiple stuff designed for him and some deep balls that didn't go his way or whatever, but all those guys are stepping up. All of them are playing with a lot of confidence, and Coach Keesaw's just keeps reminding Brett, just give them a chance and they'll make plays for you, and it's very true. If we put a little air on the ball, AJ comes up with that big third down, touchdown, kind of just a thrown up, and here comes the safety, and AJ makes a play over everybody. It's like, shoot, guys are making plays, and that's what we need, as an offense, and it's fun to see as an offensive coordinator, and it's, easy for Brett to have confidence in those guys and just let it hang.
How much are guys like Sean and AJ really maximizing their potential this year? I mean, we talked to AJ before the season. He says that he felt like there were a couple 1,000-yard receivers in the room, and when you looked at all the production they had prior to this year, I don't know how many people would have believed him, but both of them are on pace for 1,000 yards right now. So how much of those guys really maximize what they can do this year?
They have, and they've had great off seasons, and it goes back to the confidence. I mean, those guys are playing with a ton of confidence. They know they can make plays. They know they can get open, and we've got a quarterback that can get it to them too, and put it in the right spot. And he's really accurate, when he's dialed on, and so. Those guys have opportunities to make plays, and it's not just like it's one or two or three of them. There's multiple guys in that room that are capable and ready, and everybody wants more balls, thrown their way, obviously. But they've all stepped up, and Coach Keesaw's done a phenomenal job with those guys.
With Garrett Cunningham, you kind of getting him in a little more and more, and he had the long catch, and then he had the touchdown, just to see how Garrett's going to come along and provided, something at the tight end group. What have you seen from him?
Yeah, Garrett's one of those positive guys. He's a great, Bronco type blue collar guy that does the right things on and off the field, and it's good to see him, make that transition to offense and have a bigger role and do some things on the field. He catches the ball well. He's coming around as far as his physicality at that position. And being a tight end is not easy. You gotta do a lot of things. Whether it's run game or pass game or protection, and there's a lot of that's asked of you at that position. And Garrett's done an awesome job of attacking all those challenges and putting himself in a position to earn the right to go out there and play and catch balls, and whether it's an interesting run for him on the goal line, there with a little sweep out of a heavy set, but he's having fun, and I think most of those guys are on offense, and it shows.
Well, why do you think the tight end suits him? Because he came as a quarterback, and he did linebacker, and even I think did some punting when he first got here. He's just trying to find a spot to stick. Why do you think it's tight end, and what does that say about him that he's fourth position or whatever it is, fifth position in 4 years, and he stuck with it, and now he's kind of seeing the success?
He's a good athlete, and he's big, he's versatile. So whether it was initially wide receiver, being young and skinnier, and then transitioning over to defense and possibly playing some D end, and he's very versatile. He's a good athlete. He can run. He's long, and he's finally found a good spot for him where we can use him. We use a lot of tight ends, so.
It makes sense that basically the only position he probably hasn't played is running back.
Yeah.
His touchdown is a rushing touchdown. Could you tell us what his reaction was like when you guys talked about putting that play in and putting him in that position to execute it?
Yeah, he's actually got multiple things in each game plan for whether it's receiving or catches or runs or things like that. But yeah, he's excited for everything, and it's fun putting stuff in for a guy like that just appreciates everything that we do out there and loves being in practice and works his butt off, and to see him get a touchdown in a game like that and how excited he was a lot of fun.
I just want more about him too. Are you guys starting to find out where his ceiling might be at that position too? Because his snap counts continue to increase, and obviously you guys are now to the point where you're putting stuff into the game plan for him to go out and execute. So clearly you're starting to believe with what he can do at that position.
Yeah, we definitely believe in him. And a lot of the other guys in that room too. There's a lot. It's interesting, thinking about a game plan and just what we actually run in a game compared to what goes in. There's a lot of personnel stuff that we use, and so everybody kind of has a chunk in that, and some of it gets used and some of it doesn't, and so you never know what's going to happen in a game and who's going to get utilized, I guess.
What did you see from the right side of the offensive line in the last game? Harsin seemed like he really is like what John Ojukwu done in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess maybe what you liked about John, but also just kind of how you saw those two guys work on the right side. Because the first time all year you've had to use a different starting five.
Sure, yeah. John is young. He's a little inexperienced, but he's very capable. He's very talented. He's long. He's a big kid, and he cares. He works as hard as anybody out there, and he's one of those guys that's, you think back months ago, in the off season, and he's always the one in the, around watching film or outside hitting the sled by himself or doing, just he's always working, and it's paid off, and he's going to be a really talented player, for us in the long run. And but yeah, that right side, you're trying to find a great mix, and use Dante there last game, and then Isaiah, and there's a few other guys in that room that are hungry and want to step up, and we want to create some competition in there. And challenge everybody. Hopefully we find the right five and go with it from there.
I know you weren't here the first couple of years when you lost to Air Force, but how important is it as an offense to take advantage of the possessions when you get them against a team like that chews the clock? And last year you scored 44 and you beat them, but in the 3 previous years when you lost, you averaged about 20 points a game.
Right. Yeah, you never know. You always got to treat games like that knowing you might have limited possessions, and every possession's huge. So you got to move the chains. They're a pressure-style defense. They want to get in everybody's face and stop the run. And you got to take advantage of some of that stuff and hopefully be able to score some points and hit some things, they don't make it easy. It's going to be a tough battle as it always is, and I'm sure they're amped up. It's always a tough place to play, and we got to go do a good job of handling adversity.
There was a lot made before the Wyoming game, like going back to the scene of the crime, or whatever, where Brett had the play in the end zone, and another one that he's kind of pointed to was the one where he had the chance on 4th down. Against Air Force a couple of years ago, and got stuffed, and you guys had 4 chances right at the goal line.
Right.
That game ended up maybe that series kept you guys out of the championship when it came down to it. Maybe a lot of things could happen. But
right.
What do you guys remember about that, and just for him as a senior getting a chance to go back there to a place where Boise State's never won at Air Force?
That was a tough game for us, and I know the guys that were involved in that game look back to that, and that's great motivation, going over there and knowing how we played, a couple years ago, and just the outcome of that game, and had some opportunities and just didn't capitalize, and didn't make things happen. And so guys are hungry, to get back there and it's always a tough battle with those guys, and they do a great job, and they're physical and downhill, and so we got to do a great job of being physical back and do what we do, on offense.
Fred, some of the throws that he's making, I mean, the level of degree of difficulty and stuff like that, how high is it? I mean, whether some of the, the deep balls are like, even the first play of the game, 15-yard out from the far hash or whatever it was. I mean, the ball's in the air for a long time. I'm not assuming just any quarterback can make some of those throws or would even be asked to for that matter.
He can make all the throws, and that's I think that's one of the biggest reasons why our third down percentage is so high, because even if we are in third and longs, we can still convert. We can still put it on the money in windows or find one-on-ones and be able to be on time with throws and be accurate with some deeper throws. That's huge. Be able to move the chains. And there's been multiple times this year that we've been able to convert on third and long, which some teams struggle. If you don't have a quarterback that can make all the throws, and so Brett's ability to drive the ball into windows and throw some of the deeper things is just, it's awesome to have as a coordinator.